Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for having me and Sakya friends. The continuation of the second part of the Heart Sutra teachings. So, before we start, as usual, please stay very present in the right attitude. Right attitude is for the benefit of all sentient beings that we know and we don't know. But nevertheless, we're going to listen and reflect and meditate and try to penetrate the understanding, the depth of Heart Sutra and how important it is, not only as a Buddhist text, but as a person who try to understand this and try to apply in everyday life as a cut-through teachings. So with the right attitude, we will first do the refuge and generation of bodhicitta motivation as a regular reminder for all practitioners. So let's do that with joining our hands at the heart and reflecting on the immeasurable qualities of the Buddha, one and only Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, his precious teachings, the Dharma, and the noble Sangha, the network of Dharma friends living now and those of the past for the 2,600 years, all of them rejoicing, each and every arhats, bodhisattvas, roshi, Chan masters, Indian Mahasiddhas, Tibetan Lotsawas, and the lineage holders, rejoicing all of their good work, and our fellow translators, rejoicing all of your commitment. We therefore acknowledge all of the above as we do these prayers. Oyenda Buddha Dharma Sangha Ajara Vidaladan Bhavacha Ajendala Ajara Udavadruve Endabu Dharma Sangha Ajara Vidaladan Bhavacha Ajendala Ajara Udavadruve Endabu Dharma Sangha Ajara Vidaladan Bhavacha Ajendala Ajara Udavadruve. May all beings have happiness and a cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and a cause of suffering. May they know apart from the happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings have happiness and a cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and a cause of suffering. May they know apart from the happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings have happiness and a cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and a cause of suffering. May they know apart from happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. According to the intelligence and predisposition of it, where are the Yajana Dharma Agrelo Hekoma Vigo. So with that, I'll start with the one praise homage to perfection of wisdom. I pay homage to Mother of the victors of the three times, who is inconceivable, inexpressible, transcendental wisdom, which is unborn, unceasing, has the intrinsic nature of the sky, who is the mother of all the Buddhas. Om Tadyatha Om Gade Gade Bara Zang Gade Bodhiswa Tadyatha Om Gade Gade Bara Zang Gade Bodhiswa 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 Om Gade Gade Bara Zang Gade Bodhiswa. So it is very good that we all have this time together. In general, with the Sangha is very good. Specifically, listening to the Dhamma is good, especially listening to a teaching that is the quintessence of all the Mahayana Buddhist practices and texts, and particularly those who practice Vajrayana. It is indispensable for people to understand the meaning of the perfection of wisdom. They all do deity yoga practices without realizing the deity is the wisdom of the teachings of the Buddha. And the wisdom of perfection of wisdom has been manifested in various forms of the deities. And without the good understanding of the Heart Sutra, deity yoga practitioner would not progress their meditation very well. However many thousands of mantras they recite, they need to understand the Heart Sutra. So that's why there's a great importance. So I'm glad you all have given your time and commitment to listen, to reflect, to translate, and most importantly, so that we can boost the understanding. When you do your daily meditation sadhana, that you're able to survey the plight of sentient beings through great wisdom and compassion, and then do your practice. While dwelling in the meditative state of emptiness, you therefore radiate compassion to all sentient beings, until they too realize this right view of perfection wisdom. You can see why they're all languishing in samsara. And so therefore it is very, very crucial that this teaching is understood. So now going back to the Heart Sutra, we know the Heart Sutra is, if we divide the Heart Sutra, it has a prologue, it has the main body of the text, and the epilogue. The prologue and epilogue are an opening statement at the beginning, is a prologue, and the epilogue is the closing statement or end of the text. So all Mahayana and even Theravada sutras have the epilogue, thus I've heard. And then the epilogue at the end, how the effect of the teaching of the sutra made everyone present rejoice, many attain enlightenment, and so on. So in the Heart Sutra, it is no different. So it has the epilogue. The epilogue, the prologue consists of the prologue first. Before going into the prologue, it has the title, and then the homage by the title of the text, and then homage by the translator, and then the prologue. In the prologue, it talks about the 4 common perfect factors and 1 uncommon perfect factors. And the second one is the uncommon perfect factors. The uncommon perfect factor is the teaching. The first 4 common perfect factors are the time, place, teacher, and the and the audience. And the 5th one, which is the second one, is the perfect uncommon factor, the dharma, the teaching. The teaching is divided into 3. Teaching, blessed teachings, spoken teachings, and endorsed teachings. And so first one is blessed teachings. The blessed teaching is the blessed teaching that is blessed by the Buddha entering into the meditation. So that's because Buddha himself entered into the profound illumination of nature, all phenomena. He therefore blessed Avalokitesvara as the respondent, and Shariputra as the questioner, and everybody else as the audience. That's how he blessed everyone, while himself remained in the meditation. So that's the how the blessed teaching of blessings. And then the main topic is to ascertain the meaning and nature of the perfection wisdom that is the mother, then the third is the showing that revealing that how perfection wisdom is the mother of all the Buddhas, and then the fourth one is how that perfection wisdom that is mother of all the Buddhas, all the victors, can be practiced as a mantra. So this is the outline. Yeah. Out of that, we have been discussing the second one, that is the establishing the intrinsic nature of the perfection of wisdom. Perfection of wisdom. This itself is subdivided into 5. Yeah, 5. The first is how the 4 valid experiences arise, and how one gains the 8 profound realizations. Third is the how to gain liberation from the objective, from the samsara and nirvana as object. And then the fourth one is how the perfection of wisdom is instructed. And the fifth one is the benefit of practicing perfection of wisdom. Of these, we have covered the first 5 already. First 1, 2, 3. We have already covered the. We are covering the third one, which is the how one gains liberation from the nature of samsara nirvana, and this has of course 7. This has a 7. This itself has a divide into 7, and we have so out of the 7, the 7 are how to gain liberation from how we see the 5 aggregate. That's the first one, and then for 6 sense organs, second, and 6 sense objects, the third, 18 constituent, the fourth. So these 4 we have already covered in last night's teaching. Now we are looking at the fifth one, which is the how one gains a liberation from the 12 links of interdependent origination. When therefore the root text says there is no ignorance, there is no exhaustion of ignorance, and all the way saying so the notion of there is no aging and death, and there is no exhaustion of aging and death. So that statement, if were to explain, in the implicit teachings of conduct of emptiness, teaching of profound emptiness, implicit teaching, there is no such thing called the so-called 12 links of interdependent origination. But in the hidden meaning of the emptiness, we have what we call due to the karma and affliction, there are 12 links of interdependation in a progressive mode, as well as how we cycle or how we turn into the cycle of samsara, and as well as if those 12 links of interdependent originations are reversed, then how one may attain nirvana. So in order to explain that, from the deluded negative karmic perception point of view, there is a explanation or causal chain, how samsara arises, and how, if that was reversed, it could attain nirvana. So first, let's look at how samsara comes about. Subjective intrinsic nature of our mind, which is the Buddha nature or Tathagata Garbha, it is naturally pure, and it is primordially Buddha mind, no different from the Buddha mind. But due to the innate ignorance and failure to recognize this, there is this failure to recognize the intrinsic nature of the Buddha nature. This failure to recognize it is what is called ignorance, avidya. And so, due to the ignorance, conditioned by ignorance, there is a volition. There is conditions. It's conditions to create action. Yeah. And so the mental formations, basically, ignorance conditions mental formation. Mental formation creates actions, karma, and then that conditions the consciousness, consciousness to become laden by the imprint of the karma. So those are the first three links. The ignorance causes mental formation imprints the consciousness, and then consciousness become cognizant of discriminating what is and what isn't. This is man, this is dog, that is house, this is my friend, he is neighbor. All of these discriminating awareness is called consciousness. So that's the third link. And what is and what isn't, when you cognize, and that they create that name and form. That's the fourth link, fourth condition, fourth link. This then, when by knowing what is and what isn't, name and form, because name and form means name and form basically is another term for five aggregates. The other first four aggregates are form, and the name is the consciousness. So that name is the consciousness. So name and form. So, and so due to name and form, and then due to this awareness or cognition of the name and form, and then this recognition goes by six sense conscious, six sense organs. So when you look at the 12 links of interdependent origination, these links are indicated the ignorance by a blind old woman, and the mental formation by a potter, and then consciousness as a monkey, and then name and form as a man and a boatman, boatman, and then the six sense organs are represented by a house with 6 windows. And so yeah, due to the six sense organs, then six sense organs has contact. Yeah, the contact is the link. The link of contact, because the object, such as form, is met by eye consciousness looking at the tree, or ear consciousness listen to the sound. So by sense organs contacting relevant sense objects, then there is visual perception, visual consciousness, auditory consciousness, and so on. So the contact is indicated by a man touching a woman, and then from contact causes the feeling. The feeling is indicated usually by a person hit by an arrow on his eyes. So that is to show the feeling is unsatisfactory and suffering. And then when you have a feeling, then usually if it's pleasant feeling, you crave for it, and if it's unpleasant, you have aversion. So therefore, pleasant feeling here is indicated. The pleasant feeling causes craving. Yeah, craving. So the craving is indicated in the wheel of life as a person trying to drink alcohol. The more whatever he drinks, the more he craves. And then the craving causes the grasping. Grasping, and that is there basically. Grasping, and then grasping causes becoming. So you can see these are the causes, and as a becoming, meaning becoming born, and when one's born, then there's aging and sickness and death. So all of these are causally conditioned by the former to the latter. Ignorance causes mental formation causes consciousness, all the way to the aging and death. Aging and death is considered to be 12th and last link, because death necessarily occurs. Some people may not even have time to get aging. So that's why these 12 links. So these are what we call the how the even though there is the so-called ignorance and mental formation, so the Heart Sutra itself, what Heart Sutra itself saying, there is no ignorance. When it's saying there is no ignorance, they're saying there is no inherently existing ignorance. There is ignorance, there is mental formation, but there's all conditioned one, they're all dependent one, they're all mutually dependently produced. They are nothing independent, inherently existing ignorance. Even ignorance do not inherently exist, let alone mental formation, let alone consciousness. And so that's why it says there is no exhaustion of aging and death, all the way up to that. When it says that all the way there is no exhaustion of ignorance, it is referring to the how one can also attain the nirvana through realizing that the liberative art of dependent origination. Through the liberative art of dependent origination, how do we do is when you become taught and introduced through the teacher's profound instruction to the profound meaning of emptiness, because when there is no ignorance, there is no ignorance because ignorance is of object. The object, because of lack of object, there is no ignorance of an object. Because of the lack of object of ignorance, there is no mental formation. So, because of no mental formation, the consciousness does not exist, and because of that, the name and form are not apprehended. When the name and form is not apprehended, the six sense consciousness are purified. Because of that purification of the six sense organs, there's no contact. By no contact, by lack of contact, there is no feeling. Because of lack of the experience of feeling, there is no craving. Because of lack of craving, there is no grasping, and there is no becoming, and there is no birth, and because of that, there is no aging or death. So that is showing how the liberative art of nirvana or dependent origination is taught by looking at how this can be reversed. Here, here, of course, talking about the lack of inherently existing ignorance, all the way to lack of exhaustion of aging and death. So that is therefore teaching on the fifth one is the liberation from the 12 links of interdependent. And then the sixth liberation is liberation even from the Four Noble Truths, because it says likewise there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, no path. So from the point of view of the conduct of the profound emptiness, all the three types of sufferings, and as well as the origin of suffering, such as the contaminated karma and afflictions, as well as the cessation of suffering and its origin, as well as the attainment of the cessation through the path. All of these, from the point of view of the emptiness, they do not exist. So neither the suffering nor the origin exists at all, let alone the truth of the cessation or truth of path. So that's why none of the there's no suffering that really truly exists. There's no true origin of suffering that truly exists, let alone the cessation and the true noble truth of the path. So that's the sixth one. The seventh one is the liberation from the kayas and the wisdoms. So when it says there's no wisdom, there's no attainment, there's no non-attainment. So the meaning of that, from the intrinsic nature of it, the sphere of truth, pure sphere of truth, this awareness of the wisdom awareness is dissolved, and so therefore the knowing, the known, and objects of known are all transcended. Therefore, there is no wisdom. There's no wisdom. There's no intrinsic so-called wisdom. There's no wisdom, and therefore beside the contrary to the liberation from the wrong perceptions, there is no attainment. No attainment called Buddhahood, with eyes and nose and long earlobes. There's no such thing as the attainment of Buddha, or attainment of Buddha. So there's no real attainment. There's no attainment. There's no attainment. However, but due to the aspiration and prayer, from the perception of others, the Rupakaya, which endows the wisdom, it does not necessarily unobstructively, nevertheless, appears for the benefit of others. Because of that, there is no non-attainment. So that is that now concludes the seven liberations. Seven liberations. Seven liberations. So now we come to the fourth main topic: how the perfection of wisdom should be practiced, if it is that. Then say, therefore, Shariputra, as bodhisattvas have no attainment, bodhisattvas have no attainment, one should rely on the perfection of wisdom. So this phrase saying that you are now giving instruction that you should rely on the perfection of wisdom. Since it is said that if you realize and comprehend the meaning of the mother, which means perfection of wisdom, then all the bodhisattvas do not have any separate independent result to be obtained beside the realization of the perfection of wisdom. And so therefore, perfection of wisdom is the profound, perfection of wisdom is the teacher, perfection of wisdom is the real mentor. Therefore, one needs to rely on this profound mentor and the teaching. So if you did rely on the perfection of wisdom, then all the to be mentioned benefit of perfection of wisdom will all be attained by oneself. So that's the fourth one. The fifth topic is the benefit. The benefit of practicing perfection of wisdom. Benefit of practicing perfection of wisdom. Benefit of perfection of wisdom, yeah? So going back to the text where we were talking, therefore, Shariputra, because bodhisattvas have no attainment, they depend on, abide on the perfection of wisdom. Yeah, so this is referring because their mind is. So therefore, now fifth one is the benefit of real practicing perfection of wisdom is stated by this phrase. Because their mind is without obstruction, they are without fear. So meaning that the bodhisattva disciples who know that because they do not have fear, because their mind is without obstruction, they do not grasp at things as permanent or real or truly existing thing. Everything is empty. Because of that, they are having done that. They are without fear. Having completely passed beyond all error, they go to the completion of nirvana. So this means that one who comprehends the meaning of the perfection of wisdom, their mind is free from the three obscurations. Because they are free of the obscuration, because of the freedom from the obscuration, they do not have the obscuration-created sufferings. Because of that, they do not fear the suffering, nor they fear the obscuration, nor they have the mistaken view of the samsara. And because of that, they are completely free. They are totally completion of nirvana. That's the meaning of that's the benefit. That's the fifth one. That's the benefit of practicing perfection of wisdom. So that's the fifth one. Now we come to the third man's topic, which is to show that how the perfection of wisdom is mother of all the victorious ones, all the Buddhas of the past, present, as well as future. So this is said all Buddhas who abide in three times, means that all the Buddhas of the past, as well as future, as well as present, all the past Buddhas like Kashyapas and Kanakamuni and Karkuchanda, all the present Buddha Shakyamuni and future Buddha Maitreya and the like, all of them unanimously had and are and will depend on perfection wisdom to attain enlightenment. So because of that, future disciples who wish to seek to attain enlightenment also will need to depend on the meaning of the perfection wisdom, and therefore they need to, it says perfection wisdom, therefore having relied upon the perfection wisdom, became manifestly Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment. So it is therefore reiterating that that all the Buddhas of the past, present, future have relied on these. That is, it is stated in the versified meaning of the perfection wisdom called Sanchaya Gatha. It says that the victorious one of the past, the future, and those abiding present, all relied on this highway of perfection wisdom, not otherwise. So that perfection wisdom is the mother that gave birth to all the Buddhas and will give birth. So when we talk about that, it says, let's explain a little bit about the meaning of the word mother. The mother, perfection wisdom is the mother. So when we say this is a text, this text, Heart Sutra, is a text mother, or Diamond Cutter Sutra is text of Diamond Cutter Sutra. And so when we talk about this wisdom, the contents of the text is wisdom discerning nature of emptiness, And then when this text text that is mother is deified, then the wisdom becomes deity. That's the goddess Prajnaparamita. Subject of our tomorrow night empowerment is the mother, the mother who gives birth. So one who realized the emptiness attains perfect enlightenment. And those who comprehend the meaning of perfection wisdom, then they will attain enlightenment. So that's why when we refer to the mother, perfection wisdom, from the very beginningless time, that there existed. Our mind that is clear and empty and non-duality of clarity and emptiness of our mind in its sphere. It is the very basis of both bound within the samsara or liberated from samsara attain nirvana. It is the basis, a substratum of both samsara and nirvana. That's the non-duality of clarity and emptiness of your mind. If the fault is left removed or felt is left unremoved, then there is the difference between samsara and nirvana. With the fault, it's called samsara. Without the fault, it is called nirvana. if we do not do any removing or leaving the nature of the mind, which is uncontrived nature of all beings, all of the mental continuum of sentient beings' mind is this non-duality of awareness and emptiness, clarity and emptiness, and this uncontaminated uncontaminated wisdom continuum, this uncontaminated continuum of the mind, clarity, emptiness, nature, mind is the intrinsic nature of all sentient beings. This cannot be discriminated, but yet it is pervasive to all stable and unstable phenomena. All past, all future, all Buddhas of the past, all Buddhas of the future, all of them relied on realizing the non-duality of clarity and emptiness nature of the mind. So, therefore, when we say Mother Perfection Wisdom, Mother is the mother of all the past, present, future victorious ones. So, it is that by realizing emptiness, you become enlightened. And this very mother, intrinsic nature of nature mother, is nature of the mother, is pervasive to all sentient beings' mental continuum. Without any bias, some better, some more complete, some more incomplete. No. It is like the wherever the space is pervasive. Likewise, it's like the space is pervasive everywhere. Likewise, the clarity and then emptiness, their non-duality is pervasive to all matter to consciousness level. What we call stable and unstable. Stable means the matter. Unstable refers to the consciousness. So, to all phenomena, the clarity, emptiness, and the Dharma Dhatu is inseparably pervasive. So, when we say the juniper trees or sandalwood trees, all of them are equally part of the forest. From the eastern side of the forest, from the western side of the forest. Of course, in the morning the sun first touches the eastern side of the forest, and so therefore there's some part is more shining, other part is more sort of shady. Even though this happens, when the sun later on sets in the west, the morning's shade that was covering the western side of the forest is now more shined by the setting sun of the west in the afternoon. So there's only difference between when one part becomes more shined, another part becomes shady, but otherwise there's no difference that both sides, both eastern and west, are forest. So likewise, sentient beings who are more manifestly aware of the intrinsic nature of the mother nature of the mother, intrinsic nature of the clarity, emptiness nature of the mind, is like those who are shined by the sun and therefore become more manifest. Others who are no longer predisposing to realize the non-duality of clarity, emptiness, are unaware of this intrinsic nature of the mind. So this all-pervasive Dharma Dhatu, although is one taste, and by becoming accustomed of the cognizant awareness of these, then that adventitious obscuration become removed, and this removal of the faults and attainment of new qualities, we call it by attainment of Buddhahood. But nevertheless, there is no real attainment. There is no real abandonment of faults, no real attainment of new qualities. So this is very important when we say there is no attainment, no non-attainment. Therefore, only during the people on the of the trainee level on the path, therefore there are this universal mother Dharma Dhatu. Later on, when you no longer have to train, path of no more learning, at that time, of course, the path of training, path of meditation, path of no more learning, all of these, there is no really difference between the intrinsic nature of these. So the clarity, emptiness is non-dual. So that's why this perfection of wisdom, what we are referring to, should not be perceived as, even though it is the very mother that is the cause of the future Buddhas as well as the present Buddhas, but it is the very, very nature of the mind itself that is coming to realize. The nature of the sky, in whether it's an eastern sky or southern sky or western sky or above or below, whatever, wherever you look, the space is pervasive. Whether it's the eastern horizon, western horizon, northern horizon, southern horizon, there is no distinction of the pervasive nature of the sky. You could not distinguish eastern sky from western sky. Likewise, when the practitioners who realize the intrinsic nature of all phenomena, that very intrinsic nature of phenomena cannot be distinguished. That in the mundane world you can see there are millions and millions of trees. Some tall one, some short one, many. You can see the countless forms of various forms of trees. Some are very bright when the sun shines, others are very shady. And but it is only because where the sun is shining, where it's not shining, there seems to be some more bright, others are dark. But in reality, these five first perfections do not receive the name perfection of wisdom until the sun shines. And where the sun shines, there is perfection of wisdom. Where the sun doesn't shine, it's in the shady. So therefore, here it is a bit difficult to explain, not because the topic is that difficult, but due to my limitation of understanding, I should say. Because remember at the very beginning it says it's inexpressible, so I don't know what I'm trying to do. It is inexpressible. So that will do. Now we come to the fourth main topic. Fourth main topic is how one can practice, how showing the greatness of the perfection of wisdom as a mantra. How you can practice the perfection of wisdom as a mantra. So when it says therefore, firstly showing the greatness of the perfection of wisdom. Secondly, its mantra, and thirdly, instruction to practice the mantra. When it says therefore, mantra of perfection of wisdom is mantra of great knowledge. So when it says that that all the Buddhas of the past, present, future, all of them relied on the perfection of wisdom to attain enlightenment. So if this is perfection of wisdom so indispensable to rely on to attain enlightenment, by all the Buddhas of the past, present, future. So then the question is, do we need the secret mantra, the profound secret mantra of the perfection wisdom or not? Because you said that all the Buddhas of the past, present, future will need to depend on the perfection wisdom. So is there the perfection wisdom that could be practiced as mantra? And then it says, yes, you have to rely on the mantra. Because it says that if the meaning of the mother is understood, then if the mantra itself is a quintessence, synthesis of the perfection, meaning of the perfection wisdom. Therefore, when we say the mantra, the word mantra etymologically means the protecting the mind from the wrong conceptions. So our mind is consumed by the wrong conception, grasping to impermanent things as permanent, not truly existing and truly existing. So to protect us from those wrong conceptions, we too can realize the profound meaning of perfection wisdom and protect us from the grasping to conceptions as conception and objects of conception truly existing. So because of that, it is the mantra of the perfection of wisdom. So when you say it is the mantra of perfection of wisdom, it is the mantra of great knowledge. So, because it means when it says it's a mantra of great knowledge, what is the greatness of the knowledge? It is able to purify. It is purify the ignorance of dualistic ignorance, dualistic perception. It is the great knowledge of mantra. As it purifies the dualistic conceptions, and then so it is the mantra of perfection wisdom is great knowledge. It is unsurpassable mantra, means unsurpassable mantra. There is no greater or higher mantra than the perfection of wisdom. Even you recite any deity yoga mantra, they are all no higher than the mantra of the Heart Sutra. That's what it means. So that's called unsurpassed mantra. So it's not necessarily referring to the mantra, but the understanding of the correct view will protect you from the wrong conceptions. Because if you comprehend the meaning of the mother, it says the mantra equal to the unequaled. Yeah, if you comprehend the meaning of the Heart Sutra or the mother, meaning of the mother, then it is the unsurpassable mantra, because all faults to be abandoned, all qualities to realize are ultimately made equal by this mantra. Yeah, so therefore it is called mantra equal to the unequaled. That's the meaning. And then next one is mantra that thoroughly pacify all sufferings. Because if you understand the meaning of the perfection of wisdom, the emptiness, then it totally pacifies. It totally pacifies all suffering and their causes and effects of the causes. And it will pacify all sufferings, because there is no real true suffering to pacify. You don't see any suffering to pacify. There is no suffering to be pacified, because you already understand emptiness. Some of you may remember when you do Vajrasattva practice, first we visualize purification, illness, and then the obscuration, then the evil spirits, and the karmic habits, and so on. That's the kind of relative purification. Ultimate purification is there is no purifying karma, no purifier, no actual result purification. That's ultimate Vajrasattva. Like that here, it is saying it pacifies all sorrows, not because they are suffering. The suffering themselves don't exist. Remember we said there is no suffering, there is no origin. there is no cessation, there is no path. So when it says mantra that thoroughly pacify all suffering, doesn't mean you have to recite Om Gate Gate Paragate all the time. It means you have to have the right conception, knowing there is no suffering that truly exists. So we have to be, if you understand that, you meditate on the suffering itself is a convention. It does not truly and independently exist. That is the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering. Why? It protects your mind from wrong conception, thinking of me, suffering as truly independently existence. Yeah, independent existence. Because of that, because of that, if you comprehend the meaning of the mother, the perfection of wisdom, you will have such non-deceptive, incontrovertible qualities. That's why it says, because it is not false, meaning it will never deceive you. This is the mantra that does not deceive you. When you try to do, say, the deity yoga without realizing deity is emptiness of wisdom, when you think the deity is a wealth deity and recite the wealth mantra, that is the false mantra. You're expecting to increase your wealth. And even if it does increase, it is still false. Whereas Heart Sutra mantra, or teaching of the Heart Sutra, that you actually know, it should be known as the actual truth. Actual truth is there is no wealth that truly exists that you can attain, That if the wealth that is attained is conditioned, whatever is conditioned do not exist independently and unconditionally. So that's because of it is not false, because meaning of the perfection of wisdom is not mistaken and not deceptive, it should be known as the truth. So there is no truly existing suffering to pacify. If you realize that is the highest mantra. Highest mantra does need utterance. Highest mantra need to be mentally protect from the wrong conceptions. Even mantra recitation is a mere chatter if you don't meditate on the meaning of it. If you meditate on the meaning of it, your mind will be guarded from the wrong conception. That is mantra. There is no suffering to pacify. It thoroughly pacifies all suffering because it doesn't exist. There is no suffering that exists. It doesn't mean there was a pile of suffering, all of a sudden you recite mantra, suffering disappear. It means you thought there was a lot of suffering, but when you realized emptiness and then the suffering, it totally pacifies even the notion of the suffering, let alone its existence. So the mantra of perfection wisdom, what is the mantra of perfection wisdom? So then, of course, meaning having spoken about the qualities of the mantra, then saying, what is the mantra? So the mantra is tadyatha, om gate gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhi swaha. So this mantra is first is tadyatha. So you don't say tayatha, okay? Tadyatha, because it's a T-A-D-Y-A. Tadyatha means it is thus. What is thus? The mantra of perfection wisdom is thus. When you've spoken about the greatness of the mantra, that mantra is this. What? Om, Om. Om is the forerunner of all the mantras. Om is made out of two vowels and one consonant. A, U, and Ma. So, but actually Om has 8 meanings. But here it will suffice for the auspiciousness of realizing the truth. Om means auspiciousness realizing the truth. So gate, the English word G-A-T, looks like gate, but you don't say gate. Gate, and this gone is past participle. Gone, Some people mistakenly translate the word gate as go as imperative. It's not. It's wrong. It's not imperative. It's past participle. Gone. So first gone refers to those people who have previously not entered into the path, and then they have entered into path. So they were first standing on this side of the side where they have not gone. Then they have gone to the path of accumulation. That is the first gate. Gone means those who have understood the meaning of the Heart Sutra as the beginners would leave the samsara and gone into the path of accumulation. So gone, that refers to the first gone. Because path of accumulation means you have previously we did not have much stock of merit. We are not believing even in the accumulation merit. Merit, people think, what is merit? They don't realize merit means positive deeds, positive thoughts. Now you're starting to accumulate positive deeds, such as listening to Dharma, translating, meditating, reciting, making offerings, being kind to sentient beings, and getting rid of ill will. And this kind of conventional practice is the one who previously didn't do that, now has gone doing that. So that means that have gone doing the path of accumulation. Gate, first gate. Second gate is from the path of accumulation, person has made rapid progress to the path of preparation. From the path of accumulation to path of preparation. Previously, path of accumulation is mainly accumulation merit. Path of preparation has gone to the path of making preparation to realize the wisdom of emptiness, conceptual knowledge of the wisdom of emptiness through very sincere, one-pointed meditation, preferably in solitude. So, gone to the retreat. So, gone to do the path of preparation, no longer living in material world, had truly become a mendicant, gone to the path of preparation. So the gate means gone, And then the third is paragate. Paragate means, para means excellent or thoroughly. Gate, again the third gate is past participle, thoroughly gone. Thoroughly or excellently gone means from the path of preparation, which is significantly high, it has gone to the path of seeing, vipassana. Vipassana is not watching a sensation of the tip of nostril. Vipassana is seeing extraordinary sight of the emptiness. So here the person is no longer conceptually thinking of emptiness and dialectically debating on emptiness, but actually realizing emptiness. That is the paragate. And then the fourth one, parasangate. This para and sang both are double intensifier. So because thoroughly gone. Thoroughly gone means gone from path of seeing to path of meditation. So that's the meaning. Because path of meditation has many different levels. Path of seeing, path of meditation has a second, third, fourth, bhumis, all the way. And then bodhi. Bodhi means enlightenment. Enlightenment is the perfect enlightenment. So that's the 10th bhumi. And swaha simply means so be it or be firm. In Judeo-Christian they may say amen, which means may firmly be established to realize meaning of emptiness. So basically, from the path of no practitioner become practitioner, accumulating merit, lack of accumulation merit become accumulation merit person become having accumulated merit, he has a wisdom, sighting, he could almost glimpse, have preparation means having the glimpse of emptiness. He's preparing or joining to the path of exalted ones, which is path of seeing. So the path of preparation is like the connector between the samsara and the nirvana to the exalted one, path of seeing. And then path of meditation, path of normal learning. So that is the meaning of the mantra is that, gone, past participle, So some people translate go, go, it's using imperative. It's kind of ridiculous, It's not only, of course somebody may be thinking he should go, but this is past participle, gone. Sanskrit gate is gate is past participle of go. And a present present continue is gachami, it's totally different. And imperative is not gate. So there's a lot of that. Now the third point is now giving instruction to train in this. Shariputra, a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection, wisdom in that way. So therefore, Avalokiteshvara is reiterating to Shariputra. Shariputra saying that you and any bodhisattva should now contemplate on the meaning of the perfection wisdom in this way. And therefore he calling the name of Shariputra. He says, bodhisattva who understand the meaning of the perfection wisdom, how it can be practiced in the synthesized meaning of the mantra, gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisoha, is no different from the whole Heart Sutra, basically. You can practice the mantra inseparably on the reciting the mantra, or just meditating on the meaning and guard your mind from grasping to things as truly existing, and then guard yourself from the wrong conceptions. And then that is the ultimate mantra. Ultimate mantra is mind not grasping to wrong conception. Mantra recitation is just a convention to help you to walk the path, walk the talk, so to speak. And so therefore it is to attain Buddhahood, you need method and wisdom, and particularly wisdom is very, very important. And for Vajrayana, wisdom is the bread and butter. So therefore, for Vajrayana, Seeker Mantrayana, the method is more important. And of course, the method is using the mantra. So that concludes the first teaching. Teaching that is blessed by the meditation of the fully enlightened Buddha, who entered into profound illumination, meditation on the nature, enumeration of all phenomena. And then when it says, then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and said to Bodhisattva. Now this is the second one, teaching, spoken teaching. Spoken, until then, Shakyamuni Buddha didn't say a word, but he just did the teaching through blessing. He was just radiating. He was sending the text messages, if I may use the analogy, to Avalokiteshvara and Shariputra, and then they just could get it. They just heard they could just receive the mind transmission. These days people say in Dzogchen they have mind transmission. Buddha was mind transmitting all the time. That whole Heart Sutra is a mind transmission. This mind transmission is called blessing, teaching of blessings. Sometimes when you are next to a great master, you can see the mind transmission. Even ordinary people, when they see each other, they could almost tell what the other party wants you to do. So mind is quite amazing that it can actually send signals. And Buddha was giving the teaching through his mind transmission. Mind transmission. So it's these days we always wanted to hear every word, write every word down, and then becoming so pedantic about this and that, wording, getting so caught up in particular wording. That real teaching is mind transmission. You can get the whole picture from the mind transmission. The word is, because in the old days before they committed writing, it was all oral and mind transmission. So these days we have to give reading transmission, lung. But if you really have the right faith in devotion, and the practitioner, teacher who has the right intention and realization, the mind transmission happens. Mind transmission happens. So Buddha was mainly doing mind transmission. Only now, at the end, he's saying, "Oh, well done, well done." So now Shakyamuni Buddha is therefore giving assurance. He's saying, well done, which means sadhu, one of good lineage. This is referred to just as you have taught it. Even the Tathagatas will rejoice this. This is the spoken word by the Buddha, Buddha Vachana. These are the words spoken by the Buddha to give the incredible what we call teaching through the word, spoken word. That means the Buddha himself, it says that the Blessed One arose from the Samadhi. Come on, give me a break. I don't think Buddha does not have time that he goes into meditation, arise. He's always in meditative state. But it appears to the conventional world as if he entered in meditation, rise into the form of it. That's just an ordinary person's perception. But of course, Buddha is always in meditative state. He never rise from it and feel, oh, what a relief, I can now get up type of thing. It's not that. Buddha is always in that meditative state, yeah? Because the dialogue that occurred between Shariputra as a questioner and Avalokitesvara as a respondent, after they have completed the dialogue, Q&A we can call it, that time, then it appears as the Buddha come to realize that their conversation that he has already did through his mind transmission has now come to end. And therefore, he gives assurance to Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokitesvara. For when he says, well done, he's saying, well done, the actual language and sequence of the things you taught them. He's giving the actual, the vocabulary and the order of what he spoke from form all the way to consciousness, all the way the 7 liberations, all of them in sequence. Not only the sequence, the content, and what you have taught, well done, just as what you have taught it. And calling him one of noble son, meaning out of the 4 noble beings, that Avalokitesvara is the most highest of the excellent one, who has comprehended the meaning and who has taught exactly the meaning, just like that, meaning it is exactly what it is, can be taught. There is no need to add more. Nothing was missing. So everyone should adhere to it word for word. And so therefore, Shakyamuni Buddha is giving assurance to Avalokitesvara that everyone should now train in the perfection wisdom exactly as Avalokitesvara has taught. And this means that Avalokitesvara has completely comprehended the thoughts and views and intention of the enlightened one. So that all other 4 members of the Sangha too should therefore from here onwards engage in the rejoicing in the teachings of the perfection wisdom, the mother of all the Buddhas, and that this is the sole and only path that will get people to attain perfect enlightenment. So that concludes the second teaching spoken by the Buddha. So with this we will have a break, but the break is only break for the translators. But I'm going to use the break to give the lung, because the translators need the break. It appears that I don't need break, but I rather do the oral transmission of the Heart Sutra, which is reading of the Heart Sutra in Tibetan, as well as the repelling of the obstacles. So I will do that. In the meantime, our translators, of course, don't need to translate this, and then you can also appear to think that you need a break. Maybe you don't need a break. Namo yala ketan ludan jenge tukum dada mi kenan de ro kunji dana ju tamje gedo dage choden do mazunje me jero boroje majimen kan ngo ni so soran re shi de zonje yula jando la jagar kedo bagawa de Prajnaparamita hirda ya peke de jumden ne ma jero ji paro do jumbe ningbo pombo ji jumden ne ma jero ji paro do jumala cha zalo de geda go do wa de jina jumden de jago ka jago pombo la ge long ge ne jumbo 장주 선배긴데 전보다 다와지도 주대 대해서 좀 되는 선문나와 시에저 주의 남자이 등행들은 뭐 효소 양대해서 장주 선바 전보 바바진에서 왕주 사무저반이라 넘버다 임보멍가 왔다달 란신게 동바 넘버 다오 되는 상지 이도 저단데 마셔레부 장주 선바 전보 바바진에서 왕주란데게 제메서 Rikipa Makana Jeraji Paro Jimba Sama Java Javan Dobade, the Labraja, the Kejamavada, Janju Samba Samba Jimbo, Papa Genes, Wanjuk, Setandama Sheripol and the Gejamas, Sheripu Rikipa Makana, Jeraji Paro, the Jimba Sama Java Javan Dobade, the number Tawaja, the Pomong, the Ranji Tomba number Yantavajo, Dao, so Tomba, Tombani, so Sule, Tombani, Shamaya, Tombani, Sujan, Mayana, taking the Sorot and the Jet and the Jet. Number Shibana Tomba, Zumba Sharebo, the Chodam, the Chodam, Tombani, the Senimaba, Majeva, Magaba, Timameba, Timata, Javameva, Kawameva, Sharebo, the Davana, Tombanila, Suome, Suame, and Dujeme, and Dujeme. Number Shiba me, Name, Jeme, Lume, Yeme, Suome, Dame, Cheme, Rome, Rizame, Chome, Dome, come, Mebane, Iki come, Iki number Shiva, come you part of a meadow. Mariba me, Mariba, Seba me bane, Gasheme, Gashi, Sebe part of a meadow, taking the Dunga, Gunjuat, and Gobata Lame, Ishime, Topame, Madoba, Medo, Jarebo, the Davana, Janju Semana, Topame, Sheraji, Parado, Jembala, Tenjin, Semla de Bambe, the Java made the Shinjilo, the Shin, and the Nanyan, the Tara Judo, 2000, number you, Sanja, Sheraji, part of the Jembala, 10. Ned Lana, my Andobo, numbers of Sanjay, the Davana, Sheraji, Parado, Jemanga, Ribajimanga, Lana Memanga. Minyamba da nyambra chivenga dunga damjera do shiva chivenga mezebena dembra shiva che da shira ji paro do chivenga me ba ta diata ngadenga de para sanga de bode so wa sharebo janju semba jembo de shira ji paro do samola jebra labra chao dene chumden de dingen de telejin de janju semba jembo po jene za wangju le so she chao chen le so Rikipo te hino rik te yin de zirji tenpa te yin de shira yi paro de samola sama cha para te yin shikpa nam yin jizo yi rango chum ten de ye te keche ka zene zeta tenpa shirin de podan chanchu senpa chimo papa chene su wangchu da tam che dan ko te zata lada me dan lada na me chiza chi wen chi ten yi ran chum ten je sungpa la ngombara do namo lama la chanzo la sanje la chanzo la cho la chanzo la kente la chanzo yim shima shira yi paro de chimpa la chanzo Kenama Chanza to Donovala Dena Dazaka de Vetsing, the Dribus, Tangula, Amba Jaji, Yumjama Sherry, part of the Jamatos, and Elas in Sakata, Judonovala and Duty, and so was in Doba taking the Dark Yumjama Sherry, part of the Jama. The Anson Elas in Sakata, Jiva to Novala, then the Dakota Jiva Tamba Chudra, Benjamin, Devil, Chotam, Papa Conjun, the Guy, and Benny. Tadani, the Chen, Dobra Jujam, Ever Juja, Shiva. Raudu Shiva Juja, Dabdan Jabdan Dawa, teaching a one Jumana, Semjan Namnera, Dujulan and Dodos. Tayanjo, Dabdan General Mizanjida, Dunga Jumaja, Ledanimo, Dumdele, Digbadam Shivan Zadozo. So that concludes the oral transmission of a mantra. So, I'll have just 5 minutes break, or maybe not enough for our translators, so we can have 10 minutes break. I think that long didn't take long, did it? So let's have 10 minutes break. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience and diligence. These are all accumulation merit. Now we are at the last part of the teaching on Heart Sutra. I said at the very beginning that the Heart Sutra has a prologue, main body of the text, and the epilogue. Now we're coming to the epilogue, which covers the third, which is the teaching of endorsement, teaching by endorsement. First is teaching by blessing, second is teaching by spoken word, and third is teaching by endorsement. When it says here, the blessed one having so spoken, meaning blessed one who has given the verbal endorsement, having so spoken, Venerable Shariputra, who is the one who's asking the questions, and Bodhisattva, great being, Mahasattva, and Aryavalokiteshvara, the one who has been answering all the questions, not to mention both of them, and all that are gathered, that are gathered, there are those of the world, meaning the entire world, and the gods. This gods refers to the god of the desire realm, maybe some from form realm, as well as humans, demigods, and Gandharvas. Gandharvas are smell eaters. And all of them will fill with admiration because they all admire the teaching and contents of the questions and answers, the sequence, the meanings, the words, all praise the words of the Blessed One because they're so, not only they were so glad with the question and answer, but the complete endorsement by the Buddha. So that means that all the things that has been spoken by Buddha, all the participants who kept quiet, they all understood every word meaning of that. So all here refers to all four sanghas, as well as the devas and the humans and demigods and so on. So that concludes the actual Heart Sutra. Now here we have special, still a little bit additional teachings. How we as people who read the Heart Sutra, or whether they beat a gong or chant together, or whether the individuals murmur them or not, how we should practice the Heart Sutra in our hearts. So there is an essential, profound, crucial instruction. This crucial instruction of the profound meaning of Heart Sutra is two. One is in a meditative, formal meditative concentration, how the essence of Heart Sutra should be subjectively meditate in three samadhis. And then post-meditation, how one should bring it into the path. The first one is how to bring the three samadhis, three meditative concentration in the actual meditative concentration. These are the three samadhis of the samadhi of emptiness, samadhi of signlessness, and samadhi of wishlessness. These three are sometimes known as three thorough doors of liberation. Yeah, indeed, these are three thorough doors of liberation. Only if you have the samadhi. Samadhi means meditative concentration on the emptiness and signlessness and wishlessness. How do we do that? Now this is to internally, subjectively, that you should look at the bare, naked nature of your mind. When you look at the nature of the mind, you could not see, measure, weigh, sight, and or you could not do anything whatsoever. You couldn't photograph it, you couldn't listen to it, you can't do anything, because you could not see the mind, its color, shape, its age, its gender, its nationality, its age. You can't see the mind whatsoever, just like the sky. And that is called samadhi of emptiness. These are the real teachings. These are the oldest teachings of the signless, the emptiness. Other people call it Mahasandhi or Dzogchen or Mahamudra. These word Mahamudra and Dzogchen does not occur in classical Buddhist literature. These are all Vajrayana later on, maybe post kind of a 8th century literature has Buddha. So therefore, what we call is samadhi of emptiness. Yeah. You have to meditate on emptiness. What is emptiness? Emptiness of the subjective mind. You could not see the yellow, red, blue color of the mind, size of the mind, height of the mind, age of the mind, gender of the mind. You could not see whatsoever. And just like a space, you can't say it's not there because it is there, but you can't say it's there because you can't point a finger to. That's called samadhi of emptiness. So you should do this every now and then. Just look at your mind. And so it is completely, totally pacified like the space. And when you say, what is the space like mind is? It didn't arise, firstly. It didn't cease at the end. It did not remain in the middle. So like the space, you can't say space happened here and abide here when disappear. You couldn't see the origin, abiding and cessation of the space. Likewise, you could not see the production, you could not see the endurance, you could not see the cessation of the mind. And so because it's beyond comprehension of the arising and cessation of the mind, this is the most profound, excellent conduct of perfection and wisdom. So that is the first samadhi. You should always meditate on the nature of the mind. Heart Sutra is Heart Sutra. Dzogchen, Mahamudra, anything Tibetan named topics are only post 8th century. We don't need to go there if you really look at Buddhist literature. This is the much more earliest form of meditation, is the emptiness of the mind, meditating on the emptiness of mind, samadhi of emptiness. Second is samadhi of signlessness. Now this is progressing from the emptiness of the mind, because when you look at the nature of the mind is empty. Because it's empty, when you meditate on that, you cannot say mind is this color, it has yellow, it is high, it is, you can't give a name or sign. You can't say this is mind. You can't give any sign. Therefore, you cannot meditate on the mind as a sign. So therefore, meditation cannot be meditated on a sign. Therefore it's called samadhi of signlessness. And its conduct is totally free of any contrivances. Because of that, it cannot be even comprehended mentally what the sign of mind is. Because of the lack of signlessness of it, it abides in that signless state of it, and therefore it is perfectly pure in its signless state. How do you meditate on the signlessness? The thought of meditating, the meditator on the thought signlessness, and meditation or non-meditation, you could not do any of that. Therefore, let the bare, naked mind let it be rest in its own natural state. That is called samadhi of signlessness. It sounds like Dzogchen to me, but Dzogchen is much later. These are teaching much earlier. So these are the actual teachings. Samadhi of signlessness. The third one is samadhi of wishlessness. Samadhi of wishlessness, when you look at the intrinsic nature mind that is devoid of production and cessation and abiding, it is therefore unthinkable. It is inexpressible. It is the ultimate. It is the perfection of wisdom. It is the perfect Samyak Sambuddha. Beside that, there is no result to be obtained. No, because there is no result to be obtained, it is emptiness. It is wishlessness. You have no aspiration to attain anything, because you can't aspire to attain what is emptiness and signless. How can you wish anything that? Because of that, if you realize that, then there is no one who falls in samsara, no origin of suffering, no suffering. And if you realize that, that is the one and only path. That is the most perfection of path. There is no path to travel on, no place to reach to, no one who travel on the path. So that's why there is no path. Because of that, all phenomena are understood to be is a manifestation of the very mind. Therefore, one doesn't need to doesn't need to spend on doubt and fabrication to external things. One's internal mind itself, also nothing to be contrived. It is not to be found. If this emptiness and signlessness and wishlessness is thought, then all the doubts are completely cut through. Emptiness cannot be looked at. Emptiness doesn't have to be meditated. Emptiness could not be found. And let the mind itself in this natural, uncontrived, unsullied state, totally let it be, in the rest at ease, they call it. Beside realizing this, there is no practitioner there, nothing to achieve, nothing to attain. Now this should not be confused with nihilism, okay? So it completely cut through all contrivances. That is the excellent practice. This is what you should learn to synthesize the meaning of these Heart Sutra teachings. If you understand this meaning of teaching, but it's like the clouds in the sky. The clouds are not abiding in the sky. Cloud appears to exist there, but there is no cloud that actually exists in the sky. It appears for a while, but it disappears tracelessly. Like that, you should let the mind to remain in that uncontrived state of natural quiescence. So that is the how to integrate the meaning of the Heart Sutra in the three samadhis. Then post-meditationally means outside meditation, you should carry this together. What we call that excellent practice of skillful method, and then contrived practice of doing the repelling of obstacles. So the first one is when you rise from the meditative concentration of the Heart Sutra, when you maybe open the window or go to the kitchen or whatever, talk to someone who is nobody but appears to be somebody, All things that appears to you are merely appearance, but there is empty of true existence. Because there is no grasping to the appearance as real and true from your own side. Because you do not have the grasping to the phenomena as truly existent, they appear rather like illusions. So you should bring everything as illusion. You shouldn't think anything is real. This is post-meditation. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, sound is emptiness, form is emptiness, feeling is emptiness, perception is emptiness, perception of someone treating you nice is emptiness, perception someone is not treating you very well is emptiness. Whatever you hear, the sound is like a non-duality of clear sound and emptiness. It's like an echo. So you should think all that you see as illusion, all that you hear as echo, echo, all that you think and remember, all as a dream, okay? All as a dream. So remember these three analogies: illusion, all those you see; echo, all those you listen to; and dream, all those things you are remembering. So that is the very important practice. So the most excellent way to skillful method to bring this for people who practice Vajrayana, I must say, those people who practice secret mantrayana and Vajrayana, how you should integrate this profound understanding of the three samadhi is that when you have this very luminous emptiness of clarity, non-duality of clarity, emptiness. The clarity is the deity yoga, generation stage, okay? Clarity in this case is generation stage. Because when you generate the deity, what is a visual form of generated form is clarity aspect of your mind in manifesting as the deity, and that is a non-duality of clarity and emptiness. So you shouldn't see the deity as a free-floating spirit up there who are going to give you some boon. This is not Buddhism. That's theistic. Buddhism is not theistic. The deity is manifestation, appearance of the emptiness. Appearance of the emptiness. So that's why with our Heart Sutra, most people's deity yoga is just a theistic practice of worshipping various figures, saying our lineage is deity, his lineage is deity, as the very figure of the deity is something to worship too. That's complete misunderstanding. That's a grasping to deity. Deity is wisdom, not deity. Most people don't understand the deity yoga because they are not taught properly based on understanding of Heart Sutra. Without understanding of Heart Sutra or emptiness, deity yoga is very difficult. And then people think our deity, our lineage is deity, this is new lineage deity, this is old lineage deity. That kind of bias, they become attached to their deities. There is no deity, emptiness of the deity. The purpose of generating deity is so that you actually do the dissolution of the deity, so that you do not get attached to it. So here, because deity is manifestation of your mind, the clarity aspect of your mind manifests as the deity, and that clarity aspect of the mind that sees the deity realizes the wisdom of emptiness. So therefore non-duality of clarity and emptiness is the generation stage. You should abide in that generation stage of prior to being the deity but is empty of non-duality of clarity, appearance of the deity, and emptiness of the deity. So you should see all appearance that you hear, that you see visually, that you hear audibly, that you emotionally think and remember, all like illusion, echo, and dream. You need to bring this into everyday life. Then your yidam, your yidam means deity. Deity is wisdom. That wisdom of emptiness is not forgotten as nihilistically as emptiness, but you're combining the deity yoga and emptiness together into generation stage, with the completely supported by the right view, profound view of emptiness. Then your practice has amazing depth and a penetration. Not only you have devoted to your deity yoga practices, but every day-to-day perceptions that you see, hear, smell, taste, all are almost very, very easy to deal with. This is most cut-through practice. That's why the perfection of wisdom. It perfects everything. It is very, if you don't have this right view of understanding emptiness, then deity yoga become a burden. It's so tedious. Page after page you have to do. But when you understand the emptiness, then the deity yoga is like a clarity, a practice of making your mind's realization the true in the appearances and emptiness of the appearances. If you regard all sound as illusion, or sound as an echo, all forms as illusion, all thought as a dream or pardo, then whatever appears to your everyday to-day activities, you realize deity yoga is greatly beneficial for you to see the illusoriness of all things. Because if your appearance of the deity is, some people say, I saw the deity in his meditation. I'm not that kind of practitioner who's trying to see a deity to walking, looking at you, nodding head you. But so what? We see many nodding people anyway every day. So if people nodding head to you, you don't think it's great? Why statues should nod your head? The whole purpose of the statue is to realize the emptiness of appearances. Emptiness of what people said. Don't think the praise is praise to you. Don't think that disparagement is disparagement. These are just the mere appearances and echoes of your thoughts manifesting. Knowing all phenomena is like imagination and illusion and dream and echo. Without such any doubts, then you have understood the meaning of the Heart Sutra. Now the third is the last one, how to contrived practice of doing dokpa, which is repelling of the obstacles after you recite the Heart Sutra. Because I gave you the oral transmission of not just the Heart Sutra, but also the dokpa, which is at the end of the text called repelling your obstacles. Repelling of the obstacles. So this is actually practicing the Heart Sutra, swearing by the name of by the Goddess Perfection, Wisdom and Heart Sutra. You have some lingering issues in your mind, maybe with your thoughts, maybe your dream, maybe some people doing things to you and you don't know what to do. You're always bothered by your thought of what they're doing to you or appear to be doing to you. But actually they don't. They are not doing anything. It's all illusion. But we don't see them as illusion. We think they are so bothering you. You keep coming. You can't erase that from your mind. So in such situation, you should use this conventionally contrived practice of repelling such obstacles by swearing in the name of the Triple Gem and the Heart Sutra, and then you crush the problems in between your two hands. Right hand as a sun, left hand as a moon, and then you crush them by using the Heart Sutra. He says, Tadyatham gate gate paragate parasangate bodhisoha. You should recite that at least about 21 times while meditating on the meanings of the Heart Sutra we discuss. But nevertheless, in everyday life, you have some obstacle that's bothering you, so you wanted to get rid of them by meditating on the emptiness. So you swear the name, in the name of the Buddha, Namo, I pay homage to the Master. Namo, I pay homage to the Buddha. I pay homage to Dharma. I pay homage to Sangha. I pay homage to the Blessed Mother of Perfection Wisdom. You're swearing by the name of the Guru, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and Yidam. All these five. By the power of paying homage to you all, that may our words of truth triumph. So meaning your understanding of emptiness, the words that you're explaining, and swearing triumph. Just as long ago, because Buddha taught this Heart Sutra, how to repel obstacles to none other than the Chakra, the king of gods who thought the demigods were always waging war and he just couldn't handle this. And then Buddha taught him how to repel such apparitional obstacles by doing this Heart Sutra. So it says here, just as long ago, Chakra, the king of gods, through the power of meditating on the profound meaning and reciting the words of Blessed Mother Perfection, meaning swearing by the name of the Perfection Wisdom, successfully repelled all demonic obstacles, and evil beings and the like. So in the very same way, may we also, as practitioner, through the power of meditating on the profound meaning of the Heart Sutra, and reciting the words of Blessed Mother Perfect Wisdom, knowing everything do not truly exist, but those who temporarily exist, may they also be conditionally repelled. So with that in mind, you swear the name of the Triple Gem and Perfection Wisdom, and they may be able to repel obstacles. And then you clap the hands. Disharmonious factors, may they be annihilated. Clap your hands, may they be pacified. So with this in mind, you imagine that your right hand is the sun, left hand is the moon, and whatever harms and difficulties that temporarily exist, such as forceful negative forces or harm, and to your guru, to your dharma, to the protector, out of great unconditional compassion, but yet fierce compassion, you therefore clap the hands like the sun and moon just collapsing into in between all of the harm doers, their body, their speech, their bad plans and malice, ill will are completely pulverized. And then imagine the consciousness of the people that you are doing this to are liberated in the Dharma Dhatu. And and then meditate on the illusoriness of all the forms, echo of all the sound, and the dreamlike nature of all the memories. And then you no longer entertain any of the views or fears and attachment, just wake up from the sleep, won't you? Wake up from the sleep, and therefore you do no longer stay there. So in this way, the teaching of the Heart Sutra, based on the writing of the Ngudrup Palmer, has here concluded. So during the meditation, during the profound meditative state, you should free yourself from any thought and conduct of samsara and nirvana. But during the post-meditation, you should see all phenomena as illusion, and in this way, both meditative state and post-meditative, you should develop deep conviction in the authentic power, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all sorrows, that mantra that equals unequaled, mantra that is great knowledge. So you should always have faith and have those mantras on your lips and the meanings in your heart. And then see all things as not really there at all, except wrong views and thoughts, feelings, emotions. And so even demons or harmful spirits do not exist at all. They will just disappear tracelessly. The external obstacles, internal obstacles, all these things naturally pacified. Let the mind remain in this unsullied, uncontrived, loosened state. And therefore the blessings of the Guru will come to you. And all the obstacles that you meet in your life will eventually become siddhis. That is the blessings of the Guru. It is your own mind that is the Guru. Yeah, that the Guru's blessing is that your mind is the very easy signal to meditate on the emptiness of everything. Whether it's form or feeling, it's all your mental imagination anyway. So in this way, this profound practice of Heart Sutra that has been explained here, you should see whether all the 6 external objects, such as form, all the way to thought, all appearances and disappearances, thoughts, feelings, perception, all are just like a magical apparitions manifesting in the space. So all that comes and goes should be treated with a great bliss, in the play of bliss of realizing emptiness. And such ability to be able to do that is indeed the blessings of the teachings of the Guru. So thus one should endeavor to practice Heart Sutra and its meaning in your deity yogas. Deity yoga should have a much more depth and penetration. If you're grasping to the deity, it's not deity yoga. That's why you have to dissolve the deity end of the sadhana into emptiness. So therefore, here we have concluded the teaching on Heart Sutra. So all of you have been very diligent. You have all stayed up a bit over 2 hours and listened to the teachings. And our translators has been working very hard to explain and translate. Sorry, I have been a little bit speedy at times. So if people miss something, you have missed nothing, I should say. It appears that you have missed, but it's emptiness of missing. Non-duality of emptiness and missing, okay? There's nothing to attain, remember? There's no path, no attainment, no non-attainment, nothing to miss, no non-missing. So anyway, you have given this many hours together. There's a lot of merit, There's a lot of merit, a lot of positive energies, If you can remember a little bit of these teachings, and it is the mantra that equals on unequal, remember? What does it mean? How should you transform this into mantra that thoroughly pacifies all your suffering? That means you should remember these and apply them into everyday life situation. Don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on the appearance. Think of the nature of the mind. Where is this you that is mind, that is yellow or white or tall or old or young, or that is suffering? You could not find it. You're only left with skins and marrows and gas and liquid and mucus and teeth and gums and lungs and liver. There is no self. So therefore do not become so concerned about me. Really, there is no me. I am is the problem. Let alone I am this, I am that. I'm nothing. I'm emptiness. I'm signless. I'm wishless. These 3 thorough doors of liberation I mentioned, emptiness, signlessness, wishlessness, is also in many ways the emptiness of the ground, emptiness of the path, emptiness of result. If you look at from Vajrayani's point of view, they represent the three kayas. So there's a profound meaning to be derived from this contemplation. So I will read the dedication by our author of this commentary. Kunchen Lame Lekshe Les means from the elegant writings of the omniscient Guru. Chungwe Lekshe Nyonde, this sunlight, this sunshine of the elegant teaching that came from the teachings of the omniscient Guru. Kunchen Lame Jeshukpa, whoever follows the path, guidance of the omniscient teacher, Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo. So Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo, this is the teacher helping me. Didrupale Chungwai, whatever merit had derived from these, Gevetsava Kantoba, whatever roots of virtues have been obtained, Tene Kewo Tamcheki, may all sentient beings, Deshik Sherab Topre, may all of them gain the wisdom of the Sugatas. Dunga Menchikpu, the only medicine that can heal the sorrow of poor sentient beings, Dewa Temjin Jungwen, the only source of the happiness that is the only source is the teachings of the Buddha, the doctrine, and the respect and the devotion. This respect and devotion to the teaching which is source and the only medicine to allay the sufferings of sentient beings is the Buddha Sasana. Buddha Sasana. May this endure for a long period of time. Yeah. And that is our dedication too. Whatever merit I have, may be because to hold the Mahayana teaching, courage, manjushri new as a man the Vajra life following of the example. I shall dedicate all the merit, may the